they are many. I can't just really point to one or two specifics and say, yeah, that was the turning point, or that was the thing that filtered everything else, you know. And perhaps because I've been sort of a multi-artist all my life, so that I've always drawn from the extreme dance world and the extreme world of theater, film, and television, and you know, growing up with a lot of different influences in terms of types of people. My mother's an actress, and I was a New York brat. You know, I just, you know, ran around New York all by myself. You know, Ivy was busy working, and so I grew up, you know, kind of taking care of both of us. And New York City kids are different. They just are. You know, they tend to be independent real early, and especially in the industry. And at the time I grew up in the industry, it was still one of, well, if you're going to take on this job, there are things that come with this territory, which are called responsibility in all its facets. So that is something that I learned real early. And work ethic is still very important to me. Not just what I give to other people, but how they work with me. So I still look at that a lot. But influence, I mean, certainly I would say that George Balanchine was an influence. You know, had to be. I grew up at that school and grew up, you know, knowing I was going to be in that company someday. Judy Garland was an incredible influence. I was very, very fortunate. I was barely 15. I was starring on my own series, and I got asked to be a guest on the Judy Garland show. I mean, hello, you know, what could be finer? And I literally fell in love with her. She was an extraordinary person and an extraordinary artist, and not too understood by too many people, I think, and greatly misunderstood by a great many people. But I valued that friendship, and I valued knowing someone whose end-all and be-all was art, and literally gave her all for that. Whether that's an influence or not, who knows? But it's certainly someone I valued very much and trusted and loved and respected. And could you get a better artist? No, not in my opinion. And there are directors along the way, there are dancers along the way, there are just so many influences. I just really can't pick you out a number up, you know. I could be here all day trying to pick those out. I think we're all composites of those that we have known, loved, worked with. You know, how else do you get formed? You know, you are a composite. And it is of those things that happen to you and those people you work with and live with and meet. And I mean, as we were talking before, I don't think any artist doesn't draw on those things. Because what else are you drawing on? I mean, you got to draw on something. So you do draw on what your experiences are, what your hopes and dreams are. You know, how you put all that together in that pie you're going to cook is, you know, your own brand, your own signature. And that's exciting. I mean, I get exciting watching other people do that too.